It's almost in. I'm actually gonna sneak over there and speed it up a little. Just thought you might want to get this angle. And I'm actually about 20 feet from where it's hitting the ground. Now, keep in mind, this little creek bed, it's been dumping water in it since I turned it on yesterday. And roughly the speed we're at is about 5 inches. So, yeah, that'd be if we got 5 inches of rain overnight. Oh, by the way, it is just hitting the ground wire up there. Good reason not to get into it. I mean, at least it's only the ground wire. And yeah, about the top of the arch is just under the ground wire on the pole. But it is hitting it over. Yeah, like in line with those fir trees. So. Oh, excuse me. It's a Monday. Becky's gone, so what's her one cat do? The one I don't claim. She puked last night. At least I didn't step in it this morning. That's all I got to say. I don't know if you could hear it. It's like 2 little hits hit the wire over here, and you might hear it here in a minute. Right there. 2 hits hit the wire. Although it does get kind of close to the hot ones over here. It gets above the ground wire. Like I say, that's why you don't touch it when it's pointed that way. I don't need to learn that lesson. Somebody already learned it for me. And I don't know where that heifer is out here. She's out here somewhere though. I let her out last night because she was looking pretty good. She wanted out, and flies were bugging the hell out of her in the barn since she was the only one in there. I need to look for her. I just haven't done that yet. Slow morning. Shuffling around. But look at that nice shiny new hose that does not leak. And now we notice the other leak for sure. That's the hose from the turbine up to the reel. It's like 18 inches long, maybe 2 feet long. 2-inch hose. I don't have any. Oh, another leaky up there. The end of the hose needs to get reset. Just a matter of you got to reel all the way off and cut the hose and cut the clamp and slip the hose on and put a new clamp on. And not the easiest thing to do. But that one's covering what's been missed. Getting right back to where it was parked for the moment. And that one's covering what we didn't get with the big one. And number 1 says she thinks she cracked her kneecap the other day. Wouldn't be the first time. We're hard on those things.
Technically, it will be on this good knee.
It's what she says. Yeah, technically the first time on the good knee. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, time to get something done. Yeehaw! Breakneck speeds. And by the way, my speedometer, they don't kick up till you hit about 30. Then it's accurate. Number 1, taking that beast on the road. It's a pain in the ass. The factory power steering pump doesn't have enough flow. Turns left real good. Doesn't always turn right. Rarely have issues with it on the road, but once in a while. And she's already had to make, well, the worst thing is just down from the shop, the very first frickin' corner, it's about a 45 degree to the left. And when you come out of that corner, sometimes she don't want to straighten up. And all the way through here's a long left turn. She made a left turn back at the intersection, so. Yeah, we're gonna start picking up some big bales, finally. Hopefully get the load down here picked up and get back before the little traveler gets to the old creek bed so we can stretch it back out without having to pull it through there. bad enough when it's dry pulling it through there. It's a lot worse when it's wet. And you don't hear any radio in case it was loud enough. Used to farm down on the other side of the creek there until the owner's kid decided they wanted to make hay again. A little Oliver tractor and an old mower, and there's a little bitty bale wagon and an old farm hoe. And we'll see what the idiot behind me wants to do. They're actually staying back. That's unusual. Usually, especially if you're not doing 60 through here, they'll be right up on your ass. As in, I wouldn't even be able to see the top of their car over the trailers, how close they usually would be. But, hey, we're just cruising along. Luckily, she hasn't met anybody yet that I know of. Oh, and here's the other one. Actually, that car's over pretty good. Usually you watch cars on this road, and there's enough room for two bicyclists side by side beside them, between them and the ditch. That car is actually staying clear over, which maybe they've met us before. I ain't gonna put anything in the ditch for anybody. I don't care who they are. Fire engines found that out the hard way too, but they had more than enough road. The guys they got now, I don't know. It used to actually be professional truck drivers that drove the engines when it was volunteer, and the ones that weren't professionals learned from the professionals. Sorry, just a little rant, but I'm gonna let you go so I can get into this field because it's kind of a pain in the ass. Since that car was so nice, I even waved when I was turning in, and they gave me a little honky honk. That actually had a real horn on it for a little car. The creek's in those trees over there. This field's always a fun one because a low spot in the middle of the screen, and even probably where I'm at, is actually, or used to be anyway, actually below the level of the creek, which makes it interesting farming this. Sprayer's been buried out here, fertilizer buggy's been buried out here, tractor's been buried out here, but it's just a little spot. Sometimes it gets over into where I'm at now, but I just don't drive over there with a truck. We're going to start at the far end and work our way out and see what we have. Well, the sun sure hasn't done these any good. They had good color to them when we were down here. These over here anyway. They're all bleached out now, but they're still green on the inside. So I was hoping to catch you a little bit of her cruising, but she's hanging back. I passed her after I got in, and she seemed to think she was going to stop out there and I guess switch places. I don't know. She needs to learn how to use that loader to flick bales too, because when you need it, you need it. She is good with the John Deere, but she ain't worth a damn with this one. But the same set of forks that are on this one, we put them on an adapter and use them on the skid steer when we need to. And she's good with those, so figure that out. None that way. Well, there's 5 left over there. 28 on. Kind of what I figured we'd get. With the other tractor, I might have been able to get tight enough to put 4 more on the back. But this one at a time, and I can't push them forward when I do it because the steering just doesn't allow it and the tractor isn't heavy enough to do it. So that's fine. We'll bring the little truck back, pick up those 5. And this was the field I had y'all guess a bale count on. And Gordon Bright, he's the one that said 32 bales, and that's what the counter said when I'm done. I don't know how your all's math works, but if I got 28 on here, and I got 5 bales left in the field, it means there's 33 bales dropped in the field. But in all fairness, one of them was within 6 inches of being out of the chamber when I left the last field. So, you know, basically 33 bales off this field. And yeah, she's good at strapping them down. She can cinch them down. She just can't get them over the top. She's actually been strapping down since she was probably about 7 years old. I don't even check her work anymore. Hey, she did get it picked up. Told her she may as well pick that one up and move it over. Like the hill get out of here. most of the time I'll come up the guts and stay up there where it's a little flatter, and then kind of play right here to stay on the flat. But no reason to be up there this year. There ain't enough bales up there. So I'll just stay down here on the flat. Not like it's a wet year. I'm not sinking in at all. We might even try to get back down here before lunch and get the rest of these, since it's noon now. But if we get the rest of them home, then I don't got to worry about them, right? 5 bales. Best materials that left for here. It's going to go to the steers when we get home, and the rest of it will go to the cows. Actually, most of that's off this hill, which is the worst shit out here. Oh, come on, tractor. Turn to the right. There we go. So, we'll get that taken care of. Drug that out before we went down to pick up those last 5 bales. And we got back and we fed a few of those bales down there. It happens to be getting one of those bales wet. No big deal. This stuff's so dry it ain't funny. So, we got them unloaded, and I came over here, and the belt wasn't turning. The belt was still on, but the turbine was spinning and it wasn't going. Yeah, it did it again. I just stuck it on the other speed, which gives it more grip at the turbine end so it won't spin out. The good news is, the new belt for it that was, somewhere in a ship out in the ocean, God only knew where. I got a phone call this morning. They actually have it down at St. Paul at the irrigation store, so I just got to get down there. My plan was to see if my mother would go down and pick that up, and we got some stuff we got to get from the vet's office, and they're like a quarter-mile apart. Vet's office is off the side road right at the north edge of St. Paul, and the irrigation store is right in the center of town. And it isn't a very big town, so yeah, maybe I'll have to talk to her about that. Although tomorrow's grocery day for her, so she won't go that direction. Maybe I'll get out and take a little trip on my own and see the world. Anyway, hopefully this comes in right. It'll still be daylight when it gets in, and I'll just shut this one off tonight. Maybe get the belt in the morning and stretch it back out and do it again, because I sped it up quite a bit, and this thing goes too fast to begin with. So anyway, I haven't got the semi unloaded yet. It's still sitting there loaded too. It's unstrapped but not unloaded. So there's to our 95-degree day. Gotta love it. At least the humidity went down to 26% instead of staying in the mid 30s or 40s. So thanks for watching, everybody.